Good evening, WFL. As you can see, I'm not in my usual spot where I do my recordings. Um, I am doing one of the bad things of the quote job of WFL. We had another gameplay violation from our Vikings owner, or now, as you hear this, former Vikings owner Remmsterr. Remmsterr has had multiple issues with excessive use of cover three, excessive use of adjustments, and in games that I have watched, because I've watched a lot of his violation games, he makes a lot. He makes adjustments on every play, both offense and defense. And while I understand Madden is lacking in how it interprets and does things, there's literally no excuse to have to adjust every single play, multiple adjustments, moving players around, shifting players, doing run commit. I've watched a lot of his game film because I've dealt with a lot of his violations as far as when people report him. The last instance he had a sportsmanship issue where he was up big in the fourth quarter and ran back a pick six with under a minute to play, and he was up by like 30 points. And the PA suspended one of his players for 4 games. The PA has suspended his players for 4 games for violations of excessive usage of cover 3 on defense. The suspensions aren't working. So the WFL, PA, and leadership, to a majority, have voted to remove Rem from WFL and from XFL from the Discord server entirely. I don't do that lightly. I don't like removing guys that have been here for multiple Madden cycles. We've invested a lot of time, and he's invested a lot of time with us and a lot of money with us as far as doing some Discord boosts. But at the end of the day, rules are rules, and he's not following them. He cares more about the W than the WFL. That goes against our motto in its entirety. And so we've made the decision, and I get the task of removing him from WFL. Clyde's going to remove him from XFL, and I'll be removing him from the server. He'll be gone by the time you see this video. But I wanted to come, just like I did with B2 The Rock, I wanted to come on screen and tell you guys why. Because he is a popular guy in chat. He is a guy that is likable. It's not anything where we don't like the guy. It's nothing about his character as far as how he interacts. It's how he plays. And how he plays right now is contrary to how we want games to be played, which is win at all costs. If you've tried to watch a stream of his, it's a lot of adjusting and the camera's bouncing back and forth. And we've already punished a guy in our Chargers owner, Smashmouth FB33. He will attest that he did the same thing, and we came at him, and he has cleaned up his game for the most part. I haven't had any issues after we kind of had our come to Jesus talk with the Chargers owner, Smashmouth FB33. But with Rem, I've had this discussion about adjustments with him in the past multiple times. It's clearly not getting through. We've done warnings, we've done suspensions, and now we come to the ultimate, which is removal. Again, this is not something I or anybody take enjoyment out of because, as I've said already, he's a good guy. But right now, his Madden game is win at all costs. And that's not what the WFL is about. That's not what this server is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about having fun, playing within a boundary of rules that we've all agreed upon. And right now, at this stage, Rem no longer wants to play by those rules. He wants to win. And that ultimately has cost him his spot in the WFL and in this Discord server. I would not be opposed to bringing him back after a while. But he needs some time away from us because he clearly, suspensions haven't brought forth the message. Warnings haven't brought forth the message. This will hammer it home. If it doesn't, I wish him well. I don't wish him any ill will. But at the end of the day, we have to do what's best for our league, the WFL, for the XFL as well. We have to do what's best for those leagues. And what's best for those leagues is to move on from RIM and say that the Vikings in WFL are open to current members as of the time of this recording, or at the time of whenever this gets put up and premieres. They'll be open for about probably 12 to 24 hours. We do have somebody on our waiting list that has been clamoring for a position. That's not the reason we did this, however. We did this because ultimately we care about our league's integrity, both the PA and the leadership of WFL. So that's why we've done what we've done. Again, I don't like doing this. This is quite frankly, pardon the language, this is a shitty part of the job, quote unquote. This is not a job. This is supposed to be a hobby. It's supposed to be fun. But we all agree about rules. We all agree about regulations. And right now, RIM's not following those, or hasn't followed those, has chosen not to, and he is going to suffer the consequences for that decision. And the consequences are this. So, guys, we mean it when we say it's not about the W or the L, it's about the WFL. We mean it when we say rules are there, follow them to the best of your ability. We're not saying you have to be perfect. We're not saying you have to be 100% compliant. But we want you to be as close as possible every single game. And RIM hasn't been. So that's why he's not here anymore. Have a good night, guys.